This is breaking news just coming in. There was a complete ruckus in the Tripura assembly yesterday, and we're now learning that one TMC leader, that's Sudeep Roy Burman, picked up the mace of the speaker from the table there and tried to flee from the assembly. Those pictures you can see captured on the camera inside the house. The marshals then had to wrestle the mace from his grip before he exited the assembly, and this is how that played out. You can see him getting on that table, wrenching that mace off of the speaker's table, and then trying to make a run for it, which is when he was wrestled down to the floor by the marshals. We've got Shubhajit Sengupta joining us on the phone line. Shubhajit, we've seen ruckus, we've seen chaos in assemblies before, but this is something completely else. Why did he try and grab the mace? Did we hear anything from the MLA?
See, this is a bizarre situation which was happening in the floor of the House. In fact, he's Sudeep Roy Burman is a Trinamool Congress Legislative Party leader. He's basically leader of the opposition at this point of time. And he picks up that mace, he then runs away, tries to flee this thing. This happened during a disruption in the Tripura House at that point of time. This is finally the marshals had to rein in when this happened. He tried to snatch the mace from the speaker. So this is something which is unprecedented of sorts in Tripura Assembly. Not just Tripura has been run with a left government there for the last 4 terms. So this is something which is bizarre, which is happening there. So far, we haven't received a statement from him after that. But in fact, you have to bring in marshals to control a senior leader, and there appears to motive but to take that mace away and run away.
Right, absolutely embarrassing. You can see how he got onto that table just in front of the speaker's table, grabbed that mace, tried to evade the marshals who were trying to get a handle on him. Eventually, Shubhajit's telling us that he had to be wrestled to the floor of the house, and then the mace was retrieved from him. Shubhajit, in light of what's happened, any kind of action that can be taken against the MLA?
There's likely to be some sort of an action. The speaker will decide on the course of action, whether to suspend him or to take some serious actions against, but that remains to be seen as to what action would be taken in. But this is absolutely bizarre kind of incident which has taken place. Speaker has taken note of it and is strongly objecting to the kind of behavior shown. So they're saying that they would take all kinds of necessary action which is needed to control the sort of situation. Remember, he's been a veteran Congress leader who's switched over to TMC about 3 to 4 months back, and that's when a number of MLAs switched over to the TMC, and since then they've been trying to create a situation wherein they could enforce themselves over the ruling party and try to create and grab the attention in Tripura per se.
Right.
So this could be those elements that you try to do something which will give you the attention, but coming from a very senior leader of the state, it's kind of bizarre.
And highly embarrassing as well. But Shubhajit, just explain to us what led to this TMC MLA Sudeep Roy Burman snatching the mace. What was the assembly discussing prior to this?
This is by the same party alleging one against another. Action has been taken against one and another is being spared.
But Mr. Burman, I come back to the same point that if the Chief Minister did reply to your question in the Assembly, why did you have to, pick up the mace from the Speaker's table and run away with it? You are saying you are trying to get eyeballs. But, when your question was answered in the Assembly, why did you have to resort to this?
If you think that the Chief Minister raises and says that now the matter is sub judice, and that is the answer which we'll expect, and that will satisfy us. We are most unfortunate.
But why don't you want to wait for a probe then?
That is the best place. Assembly is going on. Our assembly was in session till yesterday. That was the best place where this incident would have been taken, and we would draw the attention of the Chief Minister on what we wanted some action from his quarter. But it didn't happen. He tried to hush up by stating that the matter is sub judice. Not a
But
matter of sub judice.
Mr. Burman, you would realize that no action really can be taken against somebody based only on a local newspaper report. That due diligence has to be done.
You are completely mistaken by stating that no action can be taken against a news item published in a local newspaper. Absolutely, you are correct. But what if one gentleman of the same party is alleging against a minister, and the minister is alleging against the other person? That person is suspended from the party.
All right.
And the other is being spared.
Mr. Burman, I want to hold you there because the speaker, Ramendra Debnath, is on the phone line with us at the moment. Sir, why did you not allow the opposition to continue to raise their point even after the chief minister made an intervention there? Because the opposition clearly had more points to make. Why were they not allowed to make those points in the assembly?
No, it is not correct. Chief Minister made his statement. I gave them sufficient time. But after that, they disrupted. They want to discontinue my normal business. They had tried again and again to disrupt my normal business.
But Mr. Debnath, the opposition was not satisfied with the reply of the chief minister. So why were their mics turned down? They are alleging that the mics were switched off, their voice could not be heard. That is also that's not the way an assembly is conducted. The opposition's voice is equally important, sir.
No, that did not narrate the actual story. They are suppressing the real fact. Just 0 hour, just their raised one matter during 0 hour. There is no such provision of 0 hour. Even then, I allowed him to bring one important.
You ask him, is Tripura Legislative Assembly above the Parliament? There is no 0 hour. What does he mean by that?
No.
Mr. Debnath, answer that question. That is Sudeep Roy Burman there on the other phone line, and he's asking you some questions directly. He's saying why weren't they allowed to raise this important issue? Even after the chief minister replied, they were unsatisfied with his answer.
No, there is no provision that chief minister should satisfy them. Chief minister made his statement. He made
he said the matter is sub judice. He said the matter is sub judice, and he also repeated the same word. The matter is sub judice, so it cannot be discussed in the House. You being a lawyer, you should know when it is during a trial stage, it's a matter of sub judice. Just on that plea, you switched off the mic. And often you do that. Often you do that. You ask the cadre.
You are not obeying the request.
Often you request, Mr. Speaker, you act as a cadre. You act as a CPM cadre sitting in the Speaker's chair. You act as a CPM cadre. You look at the dictates of the Chief Minister. The moment he signals to you, then you switch on the mic. That is what is happening in our state. The voice of the opposition is being bottled by
my pilot car fell in an accident. No, yes, I am.
You are trying to bottle the voice of the opposition in the floor of the House.
I am not interested to give any further reply to you. Please.
Is that the system you allow us from the House? Is that the system?
All right, Speaker Ramendra Debnath has put off his phone at this point. Certain questions being posed to him with regards to why the mics of the opposition were turned down when they were trying to raise this.
The scopes are there. Why Mr. Baumann, being a very senior legislator, why he so unbecoming thing there? It is very unfair.
But Mr. Chaudhary, Mr. Burman there has already apologized for his behavior. What I want to know from you is that if the opposition is raising such an important issue, why should their mics be turned down? Why should they not be allowed to speak in the assembly? Mr. Chaudhary, that question is for you.
No, he won't be able to. He won't answer to that.
Mr. Jitendra Chaudhary, yeah. Are you there with us? All right, we seem to have lost our connection there with Jitendra Chaudhary, or perhaps he turned it down after being asked why the opposition was not allowed to speak on the last day of the assembly session in Tripura. Mr. Burman is still with us. In fact, he has admitted that he made a mistake yesterday when he ran away with the mace of the speaker. He says it just happened at, without really any thought being given to it. He just acted because he was not being allowed to raise the very important issue of women's safety in Tripura, and he wanted to highlight that perhaps resorting to this action is what he could do at that point. Mr. Sudeep, you heard Jitendra Chaudhary there not willing to answer our question about why the mics were turned down, but this seems to be an important issue wherein even the opposition feels that it's not being given enough attention. What is going to be the next step of the opposition then?
We are going to, unfortunately, our media, our local media doesn't have a significant role in national this thing. Our things are not highlighted. Please kindly go through our request. Our request to you, the national channel, is please go to the National Crime Record Bureau for years after years, and you will find Tripura leads the rest of the nation so far as crime against women is concerned, but nobody paid attention. At least my action, unfortunately, I do regret for such sort of this thing. But fortunately, now for this incident, at least you people can now understand what is going on in Tripura. Ministers, our elected representatives, they are out treating the modesty of women. Nobody takes attention. And in other states, big states, if a small thing happens, it becomes a national headline in national media. At least my action has yielded the national media attention to this that is foul against or crime against women that has seen a spurt for the last decades. At least this thing has drawn the attention of national media.
Sir, I want to take one more question with you. This, I understand from reports is that the Chief Minister himself got up while you were raising this important issue in the Assembly and said that he had not received any complaints against Mr. Jamatia from any quarters, and that he had already filed a defamation suit against the local newspaper. So, when the Chief Minister already gave you an explanation, I come back to the point, even though you have apologized, as to why did you resort to this antic?
Just hear me out. Just hear me out regarding this point which you have made. Yes, the Chief Minister did rise on his chair, and what he stated is that the minister has gone to the court against one local media, for making this news item. He has done a civil suit. It is not a matter of subjudice. It is only subjudice matter is after investigation, if the police file a charge sheet and the charges are drawn by the court, then it becomes charge sheet. That is in case of trial. But this, he has gone to the court just because the assembly is very near. He has just gone to the court so that the Chief Minister can raise in his chair and say, now I won't be able to make any comment since it has gone to the court. Now my question is, the same allegation has been made against that MDC who has been suspended by the party. The MDC has made an allegation against the minister. Why the Chief Minister has not taken any action against this minister?
Well, he is saying that they have not received any complaint just yet against Mr. Jamatia, and that this was only a newspaper report, and that the Chief Minister would find it tough to act on a newspaper report.
No. No action, no FIR has been lodged against that MDC also, who has been suspended by the party. No FIR has been lodged. Why the two persons, both of them belong to the CPM party. Both are bringing, this is not the allegation by the newspaper or by the opposition. And another was a member elected representative of the Autonomous District Council. Since the same nature of involvement of outraging the modesty of women or playing foul with mahilas were brought against one another, we saw the CPM party, the party in power, taking action against the member of Autonomous District Council. The same nature of allegation was brought by the suspended MDC Autonomous District Council, member of Autonomous District Council, against the minister of the Forest Minister, but no action was initiated by the party or the government. So during Zero yesterday, we tried to make this point that Tripura leads the rest of the nation so far as, according to the National Crime Record Bureau, that Tripura leads the rest of the nation so far as crime against women is concerned. And the rate of conviction is the least in Tripura. Since we are a remote state, nobody pays attention, and we try to draw the attention. What steps? And you are the minister sitting in the floor of the house against whom allegations has been leveled. The government or the party is not taking any action.
Sir, but Mr. Sudipra Burman, I want to know why did you have to resort to this tactic of picking up the mace from the speaker's table rather than making your point on the floor of the assembly?
What will you do? What will one do when their mics, when trying to raise this point, the mics are being switched off, we are unable to speak, the speaker will act, not independently, but the speaker will act as per the wishes and the dictates of the leader of the house, the chief minister. What steps will you take to make this point, how will you raise this in the floor of the house?
Sir, but doesn't this sort of behavior, isn't it unbecoming of a representative?
Absolutely, it was not pre-planned, this attempt. It's not that it never happened. It did happen by the same party, the former chief minister. So it's not that I am trying to say that it happened, so that's why I took it. Not that. It was not at all a pre-plan, but we were trying to ask the speaker, please bear with us and allow us to speak, but the speaker was not allowing us to speak, and he was carrying with the rest of the business, and all of a sudden, all of a sudden it happened. We ought not to have any respect for that.
So you are admitting that what you did was unbecoming of a representative of the people?
Yeah, I do admit that I ought not to have taken such a step. It doesn't speak nice of me also and the party also. And I yesterday also, after that incident took place, I handed over this thing, the mace, to the watch and ward of the assembly. And yesterday I said that I do regret of what my steps were taken yesterday. I do regret, and I seek apology for that. I made my point very clear.
All right, so at least there's an apology and regret there coming from Sudeep Roy Burman here on CNN News 18. He's admitting that his actions on the floor of the assembly were unbecoming of a representative. But sir, I want to know from you that you are alleging that while the opposition was trying to raise this important issue of women's safety and security, your mics were being switched off. Was this matter later raised with the speaker?
No. We tried to make this point, but our voices have been throttled. And very frankly, thank you. At least by this act of mine, I could make my point clear that the ministers, the elected representatives of Tripura, the present government, they are outraging the modesty of women because Tripura doesn't play a significant role in national politics or in the national media. At least thank you, CNN and other TV channels, at least for this time. Since it has come, this video has become viral, at least you had the time to take our interview and at least go by National Crime Record Bureau. The Tripura leads the rest of the country so far as crime against women is concerned, and why the rate of conviction is the least in Tripura. Please, for God's sake, your national TV channels, please come down over Tripura and take a clear picture of that.
Okay.